Stephen A. Week 1 recap, and then we are going to do the Gfssl. Happy to be back, and let's get the rolling.
The 2026 season has arrived. Some big games to get to. We start in Buffalo. The Bills at home to take on the Carolina Panthers. And it's the Carolina defense getting the job done here. This would turn out to be one of the biggest plays of the game. The Panthers come away with the victory on the road in the season opener. Next up, why don't we go to Foxborough and check in on the Patriots as they play host to the Atlanta Falcons. And this is Drake May. He went for more than 300 yards passing, including this, one of his 3 touchdowns through the air. One more to show you real quick. It's over in Tampa, the Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints. And it's Rome Odunze. He's going to bring this one in, and away he goes. 71 yards to the house. The Buccaneers wind up winning this one in front of the whole crowd to begin the new season.
Seeing the Bucs beat the Saints was pretty interesting.
And that'll do it for us. After a fun first week, let's do it again, shall we? Scott Hansen here in Orlando. Good night from EA Sports.
All right, so as I said before, we have the Gfssl Media Day. We're going to go through some teams, hear how they feel about their team. It's going to be a pretty long, deep interview, show. So you guys can buckle your seatbelt. On the line, for those that participated, will be added to the incentive list. So this is going to be a great show, and then we'll do the recap as far as how the teams did as we catch up as far as week 1 recap. So we're going to start out with the Bears. That is OJ. See how he feel about his team, the draft, and all that fun stuff.
It was a horrific draft. I'm not even going to try to spice it up. I'm not going to try to tell you anything different. I'm not going to try to put makeup on a pig, because at the end of the day, we all know that makeup pig is still a pig. It was a horrific draft, but that's okay. We believe in our coaches. We believe in our quality control. We believe in our ownership. We believe in every single person that walks through the doors of Hallis Hall, and we know that they will change our team. We know that they bring something to our team that we didn't previously have. We know that we had some holes. We know that we had some spots that needed to be filled. We know that we had things that needed to be addressed, and they were addressed in the draft. Were they addressed in the draft of blue chip prospects? Absolutely not. But we know that these players will become blue chip players once they get into our system and our program. Stephen A., I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're done with your Dominican ladies. I'm glad you're done with your Latinas, because at the end of the day, hell has no fury like a Latino women scorned. OJ is out.
All right, so I appreciate that. That was OJ. And as I said before, I'm putting everything together. So we'll see how OJ actually did. Let's go to the team schedule, and we'll go to the Bears and see how they did. And we'll get to the next team. So the Bears actually lost. This was a game they lost 40-31. They played well offensively, as we can see. Turnovers was 2-0, just way too many turnovers. Let's see how many sacks they took. Oh, 1 sack. So it's not bad. But yeah, so the Bears did lose that game. And yep. So we'll go to the next one. So we had the Bears. A lot of people did their interview, so it's nice. All right, so now we got the Bengals. That is Miami. So let's get him. Miami. So let's see what Miami had to say.
Stephen A., you know what time it is. I'm always ready. I'm always excited. I always am expecting a good outcome towards every season. This cycle's just been tough. I don't think I can really get anything going. Saquon Barkley runs like he has bricks tied to his ankles, even when he did have 95 acceleration. It is what it is. Offensive line can't block people who are 69 overalls. My 98 overall ends can't get no pressure. It just sometimes it just doesn't make sense. But I would continue to grind and support this league as much as I can, because at the end of the day, we're all like a family here, and that's what's most important, is just having fun and being able to rely on each other to get through whatever it is that you need to get through.
Definitely agree with you on that, Miami. I do feel like we're a big family. A lot of us got different things we do, and we try to stay in touch with everyone. Donald Locke is a pretty good rookie. He was able to draft out of Penn State, 6'3", 240. Let's see who else we see. Free safety. Yeah, so I mean, for the most part, it was a pretty decent draft, and he was able to sign his 76 rated running back. He's a hidden development as well. So let's see if the Bengals won their game. Let's see. Trying to be quick so we can make it smooth. So he actually won his game. So he beat the Lions 28-17. Turnover battle was 2-2. When we take a look at the stats, Joe Burrow, 4 passing TDs, 370 in the air. He was short 100 yards in the running game. Wide receivers came out pretty big for him. 3 receivers over 100 yards. So that's great. That's great right there. That's a good start. That's a good start right there. So let's move to the next team. So we did the Bengals. So let's see if we got the Bills. Bills. Okay, so yep. So we don't have a Bills owner. Let me make sure. Bills. Okay, yeah. So we don't have a Bills owner. All right. Next up, we got Broncos. The Broncos, he did not show up to the draft, but I think he did send me a message. So let's see. Let's see what we got. All right, so the Broncos is Madman the Gamer, and he said I didn't make it to the draft. So yeah, he didn't make it to the draft, so there's no need for him to say anything. So he's still eligible. He just did not make it to it. Browns is Amfish. Amfish usually have the best draft, man. He does great when it comes to evaluating talent.
Hey, it's good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, the draft was fun. I had some later picks. Traded back. I had a few holes that need to be filled, so I didn't get quite the high quality of players that I've gotten in the past or hope to get in the past. Some longer development players, some players that might take a year or two to develop to turn into starters. I did pick up one guard that looks like he's probably going to slide in as a starter at left guard, but other than that, we're kind of playing with the old team. Hasn't been a lot of changes. Lost a couple of young players because they were too expensive. Made a move in free agency to pick up a defensive end, edge player. Other than that, there's not a whole lot that's changed. It's the same system, same quarterback, same running back. Defense is most of the same. Rocking with the young players we got last year. Last year's draft was fantastic. So just lots of good depth and seeing that we can take the AFC North again. So thank you very much for the interview. Look forward to the next season. Thanks. Bye.
Appreciate you, Amfish. And we'll take a look and see if he won his game. He actually lost. I mean, a lot of us lose to the Colts. We all need to work together to take him down. But he lost 2 turnovers. Definitely had a big role into the game. He lost the time of possession as well. Taking a look at the stats, 423 TDs. He was able to move the ball offensively. But Jonathan Taylor had his way. 210, 3 TDs on the ground. Quinshon Judkins, 117, 2 TDs. Passing game was pretty good. 2 receivers over 125 yards and 2 TDs by Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, we did give him away. But yeah, we definitely. I definitely like what I see from the Colts. They are a powerhouse once again, and that's definitely something to look out for the entire Gfssl league. Yeah, so shout out to the Browns, man. Great user. Next up we had was Rio. Let's see if Rio was able to get back with us. Rio. Okay, so Rio did not get back to us, so I will mark him ineligible. All right, next up we have is Cardinals. All right, so the Cardinals user is Uso Rider, I think, right? Yep, Uso Rider. Uso Rider did not get back, so he's ineligible. All right, next up we have Chargers. That's Bert. And okay, so Bert got back to us. No, he didn't, so he's ineligible. All right, next up we have is the Chiefs. He's ineligible. I don't think he got back to me, but I'm gonna make sure. Yep, he's ineligible. Mark him ineligible. Next up we have is the Colts. Super Bowl champion, man. He's definitely going to be eligible. You guys know he takes all the money. So, it's a no-brainer for him to be available.
Stephen A., it is nice to hear from you again. Like you said, won the Super Bowl last year for the 4th year in a row. And this season could be our last hurrah. We are losing many key pieces. Of course, we can only re-sign 3. Just to name a few people who are on their last year: A.J. Brown, Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren, Bernard Ryman, Xavier Nwamka. Just so many. I think I have 8 or 9 players that are 87 overall and above that I'm losing. I can only re-sign 3 of them. Omega Blake, my second-string wide receiver, he wants to go too. So this could really be the last final chance we have at relevancy. So we're going to make the best of it. The team is really good this year. A lot of veterans. Very tough offensively, as we normally are. Added a bunch of speed in the draft. Drafted a wide receiver from Iowa in the first round named Hyde. 98 speed, who's going to be probably our slot guy this year, Julian Edelman type of player. Drafted Steve Lane, right edge, to fill the gap left by Latu, who left in free agency. He is already up to a 78 overall. He's a hidden dev guy. I'm going to hope he's a superstar. And drafted just a couple of depth pieces. Ended up getting a 350-pound defensive tackle in the 5th or 6th round who had a true talent rating of in a second rounder. So that's really big for us. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited. We'll play the Browns week 1 again. And we'll just try to go from there. See if we can't go undefeated for the 4th time. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate that absolution. He did beat the Browns as we saw, so we can keep it moving. Next up we had was the Commanders. By the way, we will have incentives this season, whether I'm NDR or not. We will have incentives. Commanders. Okay, so he's ineligible. All right. Next up, we have Cowboys. Massive usually drafts pretty well. I think he has a D tackle that I was definitely excited to see him take. It was a pretty good pick. It was like late fifth round, I want to say.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Stephen A. And welcome back to the fold. You know what I'm saying? Man, say, man, the draft was hectic. You know, people was going round one. People had a good sense in this draft. A lot of people drafted real nice players. The Raiders picked up a nice pick in the first round, and that made me deviate from my first round pick. A lot of first round in the top 10 picks made me deviate from my first round pick. I ended up going with a tight end that reminded me of Jason Witten, you know, for the first pick, and then backdoored and ended up still in the later rounds picking up a left tackle that ended up being great. Last year we got a right tackle that ended up being great. You know what I'm saying? The whole line and then they young and great, you know what I'm saying, for years to come. That's how I like to work on my line, you know what I'm saying? So that was a plus. And then everything else, man, you know, kind of fell into place. And then, you know, I probably would have had the best draft if I wouldn't have just started picking random people. I picked the quarterback. We didn't really need a quarterback in the draft. He ended up not making the team. He's a practice squad guy. He's not going to suit up we only got two quarterbacks suiting up. We ended up getting Jordan Love after free agency. A lot of people slept on him. I think a lot of people slept on him, and I think in his offense he's going to do big things. His play action is very great. We're a very run heavy team. We're gonna show the league this year through patience, through execution. We got some really guys. We later in the cycle, so these guys got to come in and be ready to play. And also, you got to get drafted later in the cycle. You draft more men that can come in and make immediate impact for a year or two. So, but you know, we did pretty good. But overall, a lot of players out there. It didn't look like a heavy draft, but it ended up being a pretty big draft. We got a safety late in the draft that ended up being a pretty good guy. We got, a lineman who a lot of people slept on. You know, he was supposed to go round set 2. He ended up being a 3 to 4. We got him in 3 or 4 or something like that. So, he made the team. He made the 53. So it's very interesting out here, man. Just very, very good draft overall for everybody, man. I look forward to seeing what teams do this year, what rookies do this year from week to week. It should be very interesting, man. Thank you for your time, Stephen A. No doubt. And good luck, everybody, including you, man. Peace.
Appreciate that. So we see the Cowboys did lose their game, a division game as well. It's pretty big, a lot of scoring, not a lot of defense, which is surprising. Total of 96 total points with these guys combined. 2 turnovers probably had a lot to do with this game, as you guys know. Dak Prescott is not a part of this team here this season. He walked pretty much. He's getting older. He's still in free agency as well. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be interesting to see if Jordan Love can take up that slack to replace Dak Prescott. He was a free agent, so we'll take a quick look at that right now to see if he's still in free agency. Maybe we can give him a little exposure if you guys are looking for a quarterback. Yeah, he's a free agent. He's 36, so maybe if somebody have a quarterback that get injured or something like that, maybe Dak Prescott can find a job. Moving on, let's see, we have next. All right, so moving on from the Cowboys, we have is the Dolphins. All right, so let's see if we have a Dolphins interview. Dolphins, I think it's two-time Benny, right? Yeah, two-time Benny. Okay, so he's ineligible. All right, next up we have is the Eagles. I think he's been doing pretty good, so hopefully he showed up to the interview. Oh, I actually did not send him a message, so I can't make him ineligible. So that's on me. Um, Falcons is Coop. Coop definitely responded. Let's see what Coop has to say.
What's up, Stephen A? Great to hear from you again. Tried to address most of my needs in free agency. Um, Tried to go after a speedy wide receiver, didn't find one. Tried to go after a linebacker, got one, but kind of meh. So I figured out how to address those in the draft. Got lazy and was doing the draft from my bed. Tried to draft the fastest wide receiver with the number one pick. He ended up being a normal. And then had my eyes on a pretty speedy linebacker in the second round. And I guess I was lagging or something because I had like a minute and 20 left for my draft pick. And it just auto-selected me a running back, which was the last thing I needed. So kind of checked out after that and just said, fuck it, we'll let the Madden gods decide who is on my team and who isn't. And I guess we'll just roll with that.
Very, very good interview. This speed right here is definitely electric. That rookie, 98 speed, 99 acceleration. I mean, that's a lot of speed. 80 catching. He's definitely going to be something that's going to cause a lot of havoc for teams. That's for sure. We'll take a look and see if they actually won their game. That's the Falcons. And they actually lost. They lost to a very good Patriots team. As we see, 45-28. Pretty sloppy in the first. Well, in the first half, pretty good. I mean, 28-21 in the first half. Not being able to score in the second half played a huge role. They did protect the ball. They won in the turnover battle 1-2. Maybe they just couldn't get anything going. They did get some going offensively. Defense just couldn't stop Patriots offense. Zay Flowers, 109, 2 TDs. Defense had some tackles. 2 interceptions by their defense was pretty big. 11. Oh, wow, they got Denzel Ward. That's huge. So overall, I definitely feel like let's take a look at that wide receiver with the speed. Did he do anything? Actually, he didn't. He didn't do anything, but I definitely look for that wide receiver to make some noise this year. It's just way too much speed to not be on the field. I mean, even if it's special teams, punt return, you name it. Next up, we have the 49ers. Let's see. Let me 49ers.
Hey, Stephen A. Thanks for having me, man. Welcome back too. Yeah, we missed you. Yeah, the draft and free agency, man. The draft, I didn't really have the best draft. I got some good value. I got an offensive tackle and late in the first round who was true value in the top 5. So I was pleased with my scouting with that. He fell to me, but in terms of the free agency pool, there were a lot of guys available, man. But at this time in the cycle, there's very few teams who have that much cap space, right? So I signed a few guys who I think might be able to help me get over the hump this year. But we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, man. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Let's do it this year. Let's try to dethrone Absolution.
Yes, definitely. That's definitely the right message right there. 49ers, they did lose their game to the Rams, watching you 34-17. 20-10 in the first half. Nobody scored in the third, and the Rams was able to finish strong in that fourth quarter. 3-5, just way too many turnovers. You just can't get anything done like that. 5 interceptions. Definitely was the reason why the Niners lost that game. All right. Moving on. Moving on from the 49ers, we have the Giants. Let's see. The Giants user. Okay, so we don't have a Giants user. All right, so we move from him. Jags, we pretty much had a decent offseason. As you guys know, I'm returning back now. We definitely have a lot of money in the cap. So we'll use that this offseason after this year. Pretty much a lot of returners. We did sign Travis Etienne from free agency. So I was lucky to be able to re-sign him. I know he's up in age, but I still believe in him. Wide receivers, we rolling with 6 receivers this year. We have some speed. I did sign a rookie with 90 speed. The kid from Clemson, 6'4". Tight end, not so big on my tight end. We do have some very good linemen. Jordan Seaton is returning. We have an 86 rated lineman. Cornerback wise, we have some speed at corner. We did sign 2 guys from free agency that definitely can run. I love speed, so it's something that I definitely try to have on the defense side of the ball. We lost Shiloh Sanders. I'm unsure where he's at, but we lost him. But overall, we have a pretty good team. We have a lot of guys returning, so it's should be a pretty good year for us. Next up, we have is Mike. I think Mike probably did not respond, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Oh, he did. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I was really happy this year. I took a new strategy. I went after guys who I thought had dev traits instead of like my physicals. I usually like having the physical freaks, and I figure I can just, coach up everything else with the training boosts and off-season stuff in training camp. So I went a different direction. I tried to focus on guys I thought would have dev traits, and it really, really worked out. Obviously, the tight end I got, he is an X factor, but he's kind of a blocking guy, not as fast as I would like. But we're gonna build him up and get him out there, and he's gonna catch some passes from old Darian Mensah, and we're gonna see how it goes. It was a disappointing end to the season last year. I couldn't win the big games. I couldn't finish drives. I kicked a ton of field goals. I think my field goal kicker had the most field goals in the league. So we're going to try to finish drives this year. Got a lot of guys that are leaving. Brees Hall's probably gone. Tyreek Sapp's probably gone in the middle. We lost Quinn Williams. So we do have some holes to fill, but I'm really confident with this draft we had that we can fill them and hit the ground running. Season 5. Let's go, boys.
Great stuff right there. Jets, let's see if they played their game. Let's take a look and see. They did, and they beat the Chargers. Wow, that's a big win right there. 38-30. Very tight game. Turnover battle was 0-0. 369. I mean, that's pretty good. Kid from Duke. 369, 3 TDs. Rushing wise wasn't so good. Receivers definitely made some plays, especially Quinn Davis, wide receiver from Nevada, 5'9", 186. He played pretty well. 8 receptions, 108. Let's take a look at that kid and see what round was he drafted. I'm interested to see because it feels like he's a underdog wide receiver, and we'll see if I was right. So let's see. The kid is he's a hidden development, 6'9", 186. He was the 218th ranked wide receiver in the league based on his overall rating at 73, putting him in the top 67% of wide receivers. 94 speed, 97 acceleration. Wow, definitely have a lot of exciting things about him. Um, he's a rack receiver, so he has that trait. Players with this trait will have a higher tendency to attempt rack catches. So he can not only is he fast, he also has that trait where he can get in and out of breaks, and that's going to be key for this team right here. All right, let's keep it going because we have a game set up with the Titans. All right, next up we have is the Lions. I want to say the Lions is let's see. Yeah, so we already did the Lions. So let's use Ryder. No, he's Cardinals. Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, that's T. Gross. All right, so he's ineligible. All right, keep it moving. Packers user. Okay, well, I don't think we have a Packers user now, right? Packers user, D Money. All right, so we do have D Money. He did not give us a voice interview, but he did give us an essay. So he said, I thought the draft was good. Some surprising players that were better than I thought, and some that were worse than I thought. This season is going to be fun. I'm excited to see what we have in store with the newly revamped defense and a few key additions to the offense. Go Packers. So let's see what key additions have he added to the offense that stands out. Wide receivers, 91 speed kid, star development. He's top 100, top 28%, 91 speed, 91 acceleration. That's pretty good right there. Tight end wise, nothing really that stands out. But for the most part, he has a good team. Let's see what he did in week 1. And he beat the Vikings, so it's great. I mean, so 45-28. Turnover battle was 2-2. Taylor Green, 234. Cade Klubnik, 279. We have a lot of young players. Jurion Dickey, 9 receptions, 88 yards, 2 TDs. So more importantly, he got the win. So it's great to see that translate to wins. All right, so we'll keep it moving. Panthers is the next guy. Let's see. We're getting finished pretty fast. All right, let's see. Panthers user. It's Rainwater. All right, so he's ineligible. All right, next up we have is the Patriots. Patriots definitely been playing good ball, man. That's great to see. So let's get to him. All right, so he sent us a very good article. He said the draft is always a fun time in Madden. Now my draft didn't really work out how I wanted it, but I did get a couple of holes filled up. Going into the draft, I wanted a outside linebacker, a corner, and another defensive tackle. I was going for the corner Bird, but the Jets picked him about 11 spots before me. But my second guy got to me, Deshaun Davidson. Let's see who that is. Deshaun Davidson. So I assume it's a cornerback. Okay, so let's check the linebackers. All right, so he got this kid right here, 6'1". Normal development, 90 tackle. Wow, so he can definitely tackle 86 speed, 93 acceleration. He's the ninth ranked strongest linebacker in the league based on his rating and putting him in the top 8%. Wow. So that's definitely a very good draft pick. Um, he said he also and I got a beefy defensive tackle in Allen Richards, defensive tackle. Richards. Okay, so he hidden development, 94 strength. Wow. And end of the draft, I got a corner replacement in Derek House. Let's see who that is. Derek House. Let's take a look. Normal development, 90 speed. Wow, 90 man coverage. You can work with that. 95 acceleration, 95 jumping as well. So he said got in at the end of the draft. That's pretty good. I felt like my team was already pretty good and didn't make any big splashes in free agency. Just feeling guys. Overall, I think my team is ready to win the East and try for a run at Super Bowl and destroy the Colts. Okay, great message right there. As they did win their game, so we can keep it moving from there. Next up, we had his Young Man Team. Let's see what Young Man Team had to say about his draft.
Thanks for having me, Steven. Overall thoughts of the draft. The draft was it had a pretty good mix of players. You know, offensive linemen seem to have a very deep class. Few gems at the tight end position. I didn't really scout any wide receivers, so but I'm pretty sure there was a super fast wide receiver there. In there. But it seemed like an okay class. With our first pick, we drafted a linebacker. You know, we truly felt that Madsen was the best linebacker uh, in this class, in his group. He will be a starter over here. So, hopefully that brings us dividends and, he's able to show up and show out, and contribute to that Raiders defense because we'll definitely need it. Um, but I mean, overall, I think it was a pretty decent class. Um, it wasn't like, you know, college classes in past implemented, but I'm kind of glad it wasn't because, I do feel like in some of those classes, there was a few guys that, got their hands on it, and, knew who to draft and knew who to get. And, I mean, there was one draft class where a guy drafted 22 players, and out of 22 players, only four of the players he drafted were normal. All the others were either hidden development or superstars. So, you know, but I mean, if you can't pick them without, doing your research on the actual roster, that shit doesn't make any sense. You know. In other news, this is season 5, man. You know, hopefully it's not the last season. Hopefully it's not the last hurrah. But again, for the past 4 seasons, the same man has won a Super Bowl. Absolution. Indianapolis Colts. Man has won, 4 Super Bowls in a row. I haven't seen dominance like that since the RGH League, but I mean, even in the RTH leagues, there was the Super Bowls were usually split between two guys. One being Mob and the other being Legendary Colts. This guy, uh, I've never seen nothing like him. I've looked at his tape, and I've seen the little quirkiness that he does on defense, which, quite frankly, is it's very impressive and simplistic at the same time. But I guarantee other people really don't pay attention to it, only for the simple fact that, I mean, he's usually up by 20 the first time you blink your eyes. And then the second time you blink your eyes, he's already got 30, 40 points. You know. But hats off to him, but hopefully this is the year that somebody dethrones him. Hopefully one of those other loudmouth ass users that proclaim that they the best. And whoa. Before I say this, no shade, because you know me, I'm not nice. I can't be considered in the top 10, the top 15, the top 20. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully one of those other loudmouth ass users that's always in the chat running their mouth, that's always in the chat talking about their players, that's always in the chat taking their hat off when they make the fucking playoffs. When the objective of the game is to get to the Super Bowl, it's not about making the playoffs. But I mean, for years and years, this is what simplistic-minded individuals hang their hat on, is making it to the playoffs. But, the real goal is to go to the Super Bowl. But, hopefully one of these loudmouth-ass users can actually dethrone this man, because apparently there's only a handful of us in this league that are actually good. There's only a handful. So, hopefully one of you loudmouth motherfuckers can actually beat them instead of, talking that gibberish shit, posting your fucking rookies and talking about the trades and the shit that you do to your team. But meanwhile, at the end of the year, we all laying down in the same fucking grave because this motherfucker's standing over us, dumping 6 feet of dirt on us because he don't want a championship. Y'all season this year, good luck with the development of your players. And I see you boys out there on the field.
Appreciate that, young man, Teen. I agree with you 100%. As you guys can see, this is like the 5th time we've heard somebody talk about the Colts. So hopefully everybody is on alert. I am as well. We all want to take him down because he definitely has been spanking everybody. That is for sure. Moving on. Who is next? The Rams. That's watching you. All right, so watching you is ineligible. All right. Next up we have is the Raisin. That's Goose. He's ineligible. All right. Next up we have is the Saints user. All right.
What's going on, Stephen A? I'll try to keep this as brief and quick as possible. Big moves were made in New Orleans this offseason. We traded our X Factor right tackle Cage Casey to the Raiders after picking up his fifth-year option, so I'm going to have to eat a huge penalty for that. But in return, I got 2 first-round picks, one in the draft we just had and one for this coming year. And the other big trade we made is we traded Arch to the Giants. And the whole thought process behind that is, Arch played great. No bad play or anything made me trade him, but it was just looking at what everybody's having to pay these quarterbacks, 60, 70, $80 million. And I have no motivations to help, so I'd have to pay more on top of that. And then I saw Jackson Dart sitting in free agency, no offers, so I threw him one after making sure I had a person who'd take Arch. And I ended up signing Jackson Dart for $30 million a year. And I got the 3rd overall pick, a pick this year, a 2nd round pick in the previous draft, and we traded Arch to the Giants. So we'll see how he does up there to follow his uncle. But our draft picks were good. With our 3rd overall pick, we drafted a tight end who's a stud. Because of the camp counselor, he got an X Factor boost, and now he's an 84 overall before even touching the field. Our 2nd first-round pick, we took a left guard who Neon revealed to be superstar. Our 3rd pick, we took a receiver who's going to just slide in at the slot, and then eventually as Dell and Olave get older, he'll take over for them. We drafted a good D tackle. We drafted a linebacker. So just getting a bunch of young talent, and after this upcoming draft, we have 5 picks in the first 2 rounds, so we'll just keep adding on top of it. See if we can get Jackson to perform just like we've gotten everybody else to perform and continue to build the team.
Yeah, I think the Saints probably have one of the best drafts in the Gfssl league after scrolling past a few of those players. All right, so now we got the Saints. Let's see, Seahawks.
Yeah, I attended. Looking forward to the season. This is a great league to be a part of. I did end up getting my cousin in. I appreciate that. He's the Giants. Just looking forward to it, man. I enjoy the camaraderie and the funness about it. And just looking forward to it. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate that. As you guys can see, he got a pretty decent roster. I think this team could be competitive, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, as Young Manson stated, none of us should talk noise, not even myself, until we take down Colts. Steelers. Okay, Steelers didn't respond. Texans. I think he been working so much. Yeah, he's been working. We're getting to the end. Titans. About to get ready to play him.
Hey, Stephen A. Yep, it was a great draft. Looking forward to the season. I'm really excited about free agency, getting that extra running back, Javon Henderson. I'm going to run a 2-headed monster. I'm going to split the reps. I got 2 great running backs, so I'm real excited to see how that pans out. I'm going to keep the defense.
Let me see. One second. Let's see. All right, letting him know we'll be playing shortly.
How that pans out. I want to keep the defense guessing. Um, this year, I'm looking to make the playoffs. So I've been putting in the work. Let's see if it'll pay off. Yeah, just really excited about this year and ready to get rocking.
All right, lastly, we have the Vikings. I don't think he's. All right, so that pretty much wraps up the GFSSL draft recap. A lot of teams, a lot of great players. Another year, season 5 is great. We will, like I say, have incentives, and we also will see who take down the Colts because that's the focus as we see. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm excited to be back, getting ready for the game against the Titans.